Hey everyone, Shaedow here, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. So I finally got around to starting Act 5.4, and you're going to be looking at Quest 1. But before we get started, I wanted to show you guys my mastery setup that I was using. I know a lot of people ask me about my mastery setup. It changes all the time. This is one of the ones that I use when I'm not running suicides. I also run a build with Mystic Dispersion and some other variants of it. So just bear that in mind. There's no one ultimate mastery setup. It depends on the champions that you use and what you're trying to do, really. Alright, so you guys saw the path that I chose. I believe that path to be the easiest path when you are just going for completion. Alright, and it is the life transfer path. And if you guys aren't familiar with life transfer, you get a degen for the entire fight, but you gain health the more you damage your opponent. So if you're somebody that fights aggressively, you're not going to have any problem at all, even semi-aggressively. As long as you get some good combos in there before you're too low, you're not going to have a problem at all. Alright, and you'll watch my health bar and you'll see Angela has not only her regen, but she also has that life transfer going, so she stays at full health quite often because I tend to fight aggressively. Alright, so you can see she's just ripping apart Karnak. He is no match for my godlike. And down goes Karnak. Angela is a beast. I am so happy that I got her as a 6-star. She does not need to be awakened, and she just dishes out the damage. Alright, so next up we are fighting Loki. He is also a very easy champion to fight. You do want to watch out for his L2. If you get caught in the corner and he has his L2, that can be a bad day. I get caught if I get in the corner and he fires off his L2. I have gotten caught by that. But other than that, it's very easy to evade as long as you have room to distance. So I went in here with Archangel. Anytime a champion can be bled and poisoned, Archangel is going to be a pretty good option for them. His damage is just insane. This is my rank 4 5-star, and as you can see, he is not awakened, and it does not really matter at all. He still puts out that damage. He doesn't have the ability reduction, but as you can see, he's still a beast. And down goes Loki without too much of a problem at all. Alright, so next up is Gwenpool, and she is very easy to fight as well. I have a lot of practice fighting her because I fight her in Alliance Quest all the time. She is on my path twice, one in Section 1 and another in Section 2. And as you can see, Archangel just dominates her. It's ugly. That had me just shaking my head and apologizing to Gwenpool. Alright, so next up we've got Yondu. Now if you haven't seen my video on how to fight Yondu, I have a video on the channel. You want to basically bait out his specials and his heavies. You can parry him, but you need to parry him when he's throwing his medium. So basically like right there, when he does his dash, that's when you can parry him. But like when you're close like that, he throws a light, you cannot parry that out. Now because of the life transfer, any champion will actually work for this fight. As you can see, I did not bring a bleed immune in, but I chose Starkey because of his auto evading and a chance to at least avoid some of that bleed damage. Alright, so next up we've got Ghost Rider. And of course I brought in Blade for this fight because Ghost Rider, even though he is bleed immune, he is a dimensional being, and so Blade gets danger sense. Now, some people were asking me why Blade did not get Danger Sense against certain Sentinels or other villains. That is because if you do not have Ghost Rider synergy, Blade only gets Danger Sense against dimensional beings like Ghost Rider here. If you have the Mephisto or Dormammu synergy, he gets Danger Sense against all mystics. So without any synergies whatsoever, only dimensional beings like Ghost Rider, I think Dormammu, and Magic will he have Danger Sense against. So that's just something to bear in mind.
Brutality.
And down goes Ghost Rider. Love me some Blade. I wish I had him as a 5-star, but I just have to make that 4-star work. Right now, I only use the 4-star in Alliance Quest. I used to use him in Alliance War, but we've gotten to the point where I'm facing 5 and 6 stars regularly on my path, and although he does okay, with the shenanigans that have gone on in Alliance War, he takes a lot more damage, and sometimes I can't heal it up, and I just get really frustrated. So right now I bring in my rank 4 5 stars and my 6-star when I can. Alright, so we're fighting here Falcon, and of course I use Starkey for just that very reason, to evade that L1 when he likes to throw it. But honestly, with life transfer node,
flawless victory.
It doesn't really matter. I could have taken the block damage and I would have just healed it right back up very quickly. But I still like to choose the champions that I believe match up the best against my opponents. Alright, so now I am fighting Beast. I could have brought anyone in for Beast, so I decided to go ahead and bring in Hyperion just because I like fighting with Hyperion, and he just dishes out so much damage. Alright, so right there you saw me sort of mess up. I wasn't paying attention because I wanted to throw his L2, not his L3. The only time I really want to throw his L3 is when I'm trying to get some healing.
Finish him.
Hyperion is a beast. But I don't know if you guys were aware, but Hyperion does have a regen. He needs 3 of those celestial charges, or whatever you call them, and when you fire off his L3, you're going to get those 3 charges, and then you have to dash back and hold block for I think a second or so, and he gets a regen. And it's not a strong regen. When he's awakened, it lasts longer, and basically what you want to do then is avoid taking block damage and just try to heal up as much as possible. Alright, but Hyperion is definitely a beast. Alright, so we are fighting here Vision, and
look out!
Down he goes. Starkey just does so much damage, and the more poise you build up, the higher his damage. So now we're coming in against Quake. Now, Quake can be a pain, especially if the AI decides to charge up her heavy. And you see here, I'm just messing up because I'm trying not to put her in a place where she's gonna block, because chances are the AI, when I do that, is gonna start charging up her heavy. So I've been leaving myself open a little bit more just so that she won't go and start doing that. And I relied on life transfer to make up the difference for, you know, the little damage that I was taking. And just look at that, I'm already starting to regen it back up. Love that life transfer. Sloppy gameplay, take a lot of damage. It is very, very forgiving.
Outstanding.
And we finished the fight with a full bar. That is the power of life transfer. Now, when I go back to 100% this, I'm probably not going to have a good time with some of the other paths. I saw a little bit of what was in store for me. But they're nothing that I have not dealt with before. And from what I am told, 5.4 is actually easier than 5.3. Everyone that has gone through 100%ing both has told me the same thing. So hopefully that's true. I have a stronger team now than I did when I took on 5.3. So hopefully that will translate into a much easier time. Alright, so now we're fighting Spider-Gwen. And I don't know, I like Spider-Gwen. I know, you know, her L1 is annoying and all that, but I don't know, I like her, and I like her animations as well. But Archangel, he just destroys her. It's just, I'm sorry Spider-Gwen. That's okay, girl. You take a little nap. You deserve it. Alright, so next up we are fighting Iron Fist. Nothing difficult about fighting him. Both his special 1 and his special 2 are very easy to avoid. Now, this node is a Bane node. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but this is all about timing. So, as you can see, there's a Bane timer. It is a degen. The amount of damage that it does is dependent on the opponent's health. So basically, when you have more health, the degen is greater when it gets on him, and vice versa. So you just want to time it out. You have to wait for it to expire. And as you see there, the AI, almost 90% of the time, I would say, is going to fire off their special right as that timer is about to expire, so that you can't hit them and transfer it back to them. So just be aware of that. And see, towards the end here, I'm just trying to heal up a little bit, which is a difficult thing to do when you're dealing with Bane as well. But I tried.
Godlike.
And I think I did a fairly decent job. Because the opponent's health was so low, even when the degen got on me, it wasn't doing a lot of damage, and Blade was able to heal past that. I would hit him, transfer it back over to him, and continue to heal up. So it wasn't that bad. Alright, so now we come to the final fight of the chapter, and it is Punisher 2099. And I'll show you guys the buffs that you're going to be dealing with against him. Now, the person who I really recommend you going in here with is somebody who can evade. If you have an OG Daredevil, or of course Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, they are awesome for this fight. I went in with Hyperion just to have a little fun, and quite frankly, I played very badly. I cannot blame the game for my sloppy gameplay here. Alright, so watch this. That was all me. One thing that I have learned is that when you evade back, at least I cannot recover fast enough. So I evaded too early, and see, like what I did there, I evaded back and I blocked. Sometimes that does not work. In fact, a lot of times that does not work. And I have no excuse for that at all. Okay, so I couldn't stop myself from evading back, but I would try to block, but I couldn't block fast enough. So at this point, I knew that I had made one too many mistakes. My health was too low. If I blocked his L1 or managed to evade that L2, which I wouldn't have been able to, I was dead. So at this point, I just wanted to do as much damage as I possibly could. I lost this fight purely on my mistakes and bad gameplay, because Hyperion could have taken him out.
Humiliating defeat.
Humiliating indeed. Alright, so I could have played with some other champions. Anybody could have taken him down at this point in time, but I just threw in Stark Spidey to get it done fast.
Headshot.
And that is 5.4.1. So if you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you did, please consider smashing that like button. It really helps me out. If you have not subscribed to the channel already, please consider giving me a subscription. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video. If you want to help support the channel, look in my description and you will see a link to my Patreon account, and you can become a patron of this channel. And you guys have a blessed day.